Hey everybody, this is Josh at Positively Negative. Thought I'd make a small video, hopefully a small video. I just want to chat for a short time. Um, I'm going to be talking about China, Obama's bank squeeze, vaccine passports, and some book that I discovered, but it's actually a really old book. So let's start. The recently Taiwan has become more and more important in the news because of our Taiwan Semiconductor company in the big city called Hsinchu. They are number three processor maker in the world, and because of 5G technologies, they've the need for microprocessors has increased by a whole lot. And now you have US and Europe pulling on one side, and then China is trying to pull on the other side, trying to become better and better friends or just bullies. China has always been sort of a bully to Taiwan. The whole history of Taiwan has sort of been like there's a song called "The Orphan of Asia," and various places in Asia have had control of Taiwan for a while. Japan was one of them. China was another, and then there was Holland before that, and so. Anyway, I just mentioned it because it's interesting, but it's not really important to the issue right now. But recently, the American ambassador visited Taiwan, and China didn't really like it, apparently. So, just getting a little nervous after hearing those kinds of things. There's been stories here and there about airplanes flying into Taiwan airspace. That really doesn't really bother me usually, but more and more the importance of Taiwan mixed with the tension between U.S. and China, it's really getting me a little nervous. Let's move on to the next subject. That's about 2 minutes. Obama's bank squeeze. Back when Obama was in office, he was he wanted to do social changes, but he had some different ideas about how to make those changes happen. Usually, in history, you sort of work from the ground up, trying to develop people that can help you along the way to accomplish the things you want to do. And with Obama, he wanted some social changes. He wanted some environmental changes, and usually you go about that by going to businesses and saying, "Hey, you need to clean up your act," or help people want to buy environmentally friendly things, or to care about gay rights more, or things like that. But I think it was Obama, came up with the idea that you can control people by the top down, not from the bottom up. And his idea is like, okay, every money is the people in control of the money can control social changes by a trickle down effect, basically. Kind of like Reagan economics, but with social changes. So there's I just watched what's his name? Uh, Glenn Beck, and he did a special on it, which is a good thing to watch if you want. He goes into it with the ESG scores that the big banks are watching who invests in what, and you get a score for your investments, and they say that it doesn't really affect you, but it probably will in some different ways down the road. In the beginning, it looks kind of harmless, but when you are a church and you're going to be wanting to get loans, it's going to be increasingly difficult if you are saying, I don't support gay marriage, and then the banks may say in the future, well, that's not socially correct and we can't approve a loan for you. So church growth may be stagnated by this. That's one immediate bad thing about this that I see coming up that will affect churches. Moving on to the next subject. That's about 3 minutes. Vaccine passports. Being in Taiwan, I don't think we're going to get a vaccine passport here. And not many people are even really caring about vaccines. They're all kind of just sort of waiting. Let's see what happens with the U.S. or whatever countries. We don't really have a problem. For most of the time, we haven't had a problem here in Taiwan with COVID-19 things. So that being said, I am an American and I would like to visit my parents, but if I don't want to get a vaccine, I'm probably going to get stuck here, or I'll have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks or whatever, which is going to eat up a lot of my time. And time is money when you're out of work visiting somewhere. So that kind of sucks. All right, getting back to the good book that I discovered. I discovered that a book called The Spirit of Laws. At first, I thought it was Spirit of Lost, but it's not. The Spirit of Laws. It's by Baron Montague. I'm probably, it's a French name, so I'm probably butchering it. But he wrote it back in 1748, and the American forefathers were very interested in his book. And there is some audiobooks. There are about 7 hours of the audiobook. A lot of it is probably boring. But this guy really seriously thought about 3-branch governments and how laws affect and how a government can be corrupted. I skipped to one of the chapters where it talks about the how a government can be corrupted. And one of the things that he came up with, he was saying, well, if your government has extreme inequality, that can be a problem. And then there will be an uprising of the leadership and the whole government will fall apart. But he said, there will also be problems if there is extreme equality, where usually we set up a hierarchy where the government takes care of things, and so we all follow orders from a 3-branch government. And it seems to work just fine, but if there's extreme equality, nobody really cares about the boss or, the government. What he said, respect is totally lost in the society because there's so much equality. So the leaders say to do something, and there's no respect for the leadership. Obedience totally disappears. I thought it was interesting. You should check it out. It's Baron Montague. It's Montesquieu. That's a very French name with lots of letters that I don't know how to pronounce. Anyway, take care. It's a Easter weekend. We are blessed to be living in this time of grace. I really feel like it is soon to be over. Things are moving very fast in this society. I pray for us all and look forward to the coming of Christ. God bless. Goodbye.